Hello everyone, welcome to TalentSprint. So in this session of history, we'll be dealing with the topic called struggle for independence. So till now we have seen the entry of Europeans, social reform movements in modern India, and British, how it has conquered the different places in India through its supremacy. Right? So now we shall see the actual people who has taken into the public and they have fought against the British and how they attained independence. So in the series of struggle for Indian independence. Okay, so struggle for independence. So first is struggle for Indian independence. First part we will see. The first is struggle for independence. We will see the most important topics for us modern history. So most important topics are revolt of 1857, establishment of Indian National Congress, Swadeshi movement against partition of Bengal, non-cooperation movement, Dandi March, Quit India movement, and how they have come into place. What happened before them, what happened after them, how India has attained independence. So with the India attaining independence, we will complete our modern history as well as history topic. Okay, so are you ready for the interesting topic that is modern history? It will be very easy, don't worry about things. Okay, I'll be explaining everything in this. Okay, so shall we start? Yes. So the first revolt of 1857. So what is this revolt of 1857? So it is also called as Sepoy Mutiny, and V.D. Savarkar calls it as First War of Independence. Okay, so what is this revolt of 1857? So there are some causes for this, for the revolt of 1857. So how people have fought against the British. So this is the first step for Indian independence. That's why it is called as First War of Independence. So the political causes, if you see, Nana Sahib, he was the son of the last Peshwa of the Marathan kingdom, that is Baji Rao II. So he was a last Peshwa, the son of last Peshwa Baji Rao II. So he was denied pension from the British. So whenever British takes any kingdom, it pays pension to the rulers. Okay, so he was denied pension from the British and he was forced to leave Pune or Pune, and he was forced to live at Kanpur. Okay, so this angered Nana Sahib. And second one was Rani of Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai. So she was angered because her adopted son, her husband was unable to take up the throne. She wanted her adopted son to take up the throne of Jhansi. So whenever there is no actual son or the legal heir, the son or daughter, the kingdom will be annexed by the British under doctrine of lapse, which was framed by Lord Dalhousie. So Jhansi's kingdom will be annexed by the British under doctrine of lapse. So this will anger Rani of Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. The next reason was the Bahadur Jafar or Bahadur Shah II, who was a Mughal ruler at that time. He was dethroned. He was said that you should no longer continue as a Mughal ruler and there will be no Mughal empire in India. Okay, he has to leave Red Fort, that the throne of Mughal empire. So these were some of the political causes of revolt of 1857. Next we shall see the military causes. Actually it is called as Sepoy Mutiny because Sepoys means soldiers who have started this event. So the military causes were most of the Indian soldiers who were working for British army were Hindus, Muslims. So these Hindu soldiers who wanted to work, they have joined this British army. So but they don't want to go to overseas because they have to cross seas. At that time there was a belief that if you cross 7 seas or Sapta Samudra, it will be loss of religion. So they were not interested to go outside or serve other countries. So this was one reason. Next reason was the higher officials in the British army, they were against the religious symbols, marks, or keeping bindis or turbans. All these were prohibited by the British army. So this was against the Hindus and Muslims. The next reason was some soldiers were peasants in uniform. Earlier they were farmers. Because of the revenue policies of the British, they have become soldiers. So they know the problems of farmers who have facing problems because of the revenue policies of the British. So these are some of the military causes. Next, what was the immediate reason for the revolt of 1857? The immediate reason was the introduction of new Enfield rifle. So it was consisting of some cartridges. So cartridges must be broken with the tearing the cartridge, and it must be loaded into the rifle. So these cartridges were consisting of bone and pig fat, so which was considered as inauspicious by both Hindus as well as Muslim soldiers. So this was the most immediate reason for revolt of 1857. So hope you have got this causes for revolt of 1857. Now we will see the actual battle, how the course of revolt has taken place. So first to initiate this revolt was a person called the great Mangal Pandey. Have you seen the movie Mangal Pandey? You can clearly get this story, which was played by Amir Khan, right? So Mangal Pandey. So Mangal Pandey on 29th March 1857, so he takes the step to kill some of the British officials against this introduction of new Enfield rifle. Okay, so for this action he will be hanged to death, okay, at a place called Barakpur in the present Bengal. So later, taking this Mangal Pandey incident as inspiration, some of the soldiers at Meerut on 10th May 1857 they will revolt against the British. So like this, slowly the movement will start from the sepoys or soldiers working for the British, who were actually Indians. Okay, so now later the political leaders will also take step at different places like Kanpur, Nana Sahib along with his general Tantia Tope and Azimullah, and Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal. She was a Begum of Lucknow. Her adopted son was also not given throne because of doctrine of lapse theory. So she will also fight. Next, Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai at the place of Jhansi. And next was Bihar, a person called Kunwar Singh. He was discontented Jamindar. Because of the revenue policies of British, he will be angered by those policies, and though he is not a farmer, he is a Jamindar. He was the first person as Jamindar to take part in this revolt. Next at Bareilly, Khan Bahadur, and at Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar or Bahadur Shah II along with his general Govt Khan. And next at Faizabad, Ahmadullah. All these people were leading the revolt of 1857 at their respective places. So this is a course of revolt. Next we will see the aftermath or the result of the revolt now. So what happens is British will successfully suppress the revolt in 1858. In 1858 it will totally suppress the revolt. So what happened to different people? Nana Sahib was defeated and he will escape to Nepal. Later he will be executed there and hanged to death. Next, Bahadur Shah II, he will be deported from the Mughal Empire and he will be deported to Rangoon. Rangoon is the present Myanmar. Earlier it was called Burma. Okay, and he dies in 1862. Jhansi Rani dies in the battle itself at Gwalior. She was helped by Tantia Tope also. And next was Begum Hazrat Mahal. She also escapes to Nepal. And Kunwar Singh dies in the place of Bihar itself. So British was successful in suppressing the revolt of 1857. So now we shall see the reasons for failure of revolt of 1857. So why this revolt has failed? So actually there are some reasons. So actually it was not an all India event. It was particularly a North Indian event. South Indian people were not involved in this. Okay, because of no communication and there was no planning. Actually it was initiated by sepoys, soldiers. So they have no unity. Leaders also didn't have unity because they were leading at different places. Okay, because there was no particular organization to conduct revolt against the British. Okay, it was different people were contributing at different places. Okay, and some kings of princely states like Nizam of Hyderabad, Raja of Kashmir did not support Indians, but they favored the British. And some educated Indians also did not support the British, and they were of the thought that if we support the British will modernize India, or it will bring education to India, it will bring development to India. So they did not support the actual revolt of 1857. Okay, and the sepoys or soldiers, they didn't have modern arms like British. They had the traditional weapons. So finally, because of all these reasons, the British could successfully suppress the revolt of 1857. Though this revolt was a failure, but it has brought a lot of nationalism in the people of Indians. It has aroused the feeling of nationalism to get independence to India. Okay, so this revolt of 1857 is a major drastic step to attain Indian independence. So clear about the revolt of 1857. Okay, so next the government comes up with the Government of India Act 1858. So from 1600 to 1858 it is called as company rule. It was ruled by English East India Company. Though British was interfering in the middle, but the total control was not under the British Empire in London. So in 1858, after the revolt of 1857, the British will take over the total control of India into its hands. So from 1858 to 1947, we call it as Crown Rule from the British Crown. So it will pass an act saying now British will take over the total control of India into its hands. Okay, so it changed the designation of the Governor General of India to Viceroy of India. He is the representative of the British Crown in India. So such first Viceroy of India was Lord Canning. He was the Governor General of India during revolt of 1857. He will become, his post will be changed to Viceroy of India. So he will become the first Viceroy of India, Lord Canning. Okay, and he will be assisted by a Secretary of State. This office was created for the first time, and Secretary of State will be assisted by a 15-member council. It is an advisory body. Okay, and the Secretary of State was the member of the British Cabinet, and he was also responsible to the British Parliament in London. So such person was Lord Stanley. He was the first Secretary of State. He becomes the first Secretary of State in the year 1858. Okay, so this is all about revolt of 1857 and Government of India Act 1858. So revolt of 1857 has told that there is no particular organization to conduct a revolt in India or to express the anger to India. There is no coordinated effort to conduct the protest against the British. So with this incident, revolt of 1857, some of the educated Indians have come up under the leadership of A.O. Hume. Though he was a retired British civil servant, he has helped the educated Indians to form an organization called Indian National Congress to conduct a regular protest against the British to get back the independence to India. Okay, so in 1885, INC was established under the A.O. Hume. He was a British retired civil servant. Okay, so there are some important sessions of Indian National Congress. The first session was conducted at Bombay in the year 1885 under the leadership of W.C. Banerjee, and it was the importance is it was the first session of INC. 72 delegates have attended it. So why I have given the important sessions means there may be questions. Many times questions are asked on important sessions. What happened in 1907? What happened in 1916? Okay, like that. Next session was in 1886 at Calcutta under the leadership of Dadabhai Naoroji. And the third was 1887 in Madras under the leadership of Badruddin Tyabji. What is the importance of this session? He was the first Muslim president of INC. There is a question always. Who was the first Muslim president of INC? Badruddin Tyabji. He headed the third INC session. Next, fourth one was in 1888 at Allahabad. It was under the presidentship of George Joulay. He was the first English president of INC. Okay. And next important session was 1907 Surat session. So why it is important means both Congress and moderates and extremists will split into two. These two people were actually in the Congress. Okay, what do you mean by moderates? What do you mean by extremists? Moderate means those who wanted protest against the British in a non-violent manner. Extremists means these people wanted to revolt against the British through revolutionary manner, or throwing bombs, killing them, like that. These are extremists. Lal, Bal, Pal. Moderates were Firoz Shah Mehta, Dadabhai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Madan Mohan Malaviya, all these. Okay, so both of them will split on an issue. I'll tell in the next chapters why they have got split. At 1907 Surat session, and it was presided by a person called Raj Bihari Ghosh. The next important session is 1916 Lucknow session. Both moderates and extremists will join in this session because of Annie Besant and Balagangadhar Tilak. Okay, both Congress and Muslim will join, as well as moderates and extremists will also join this. It is called as Lucknow Pact. Okay, 1907 Surat split, 1916 Lucknow Pact, and it was headed by A.C. Majumdar. The next important session is 1917 Calcutta session. It was presided by Annie Besant. So importance is she was the first woman president of INC. Though she was not Indian woman, she was a woman of other country, right? So that's why first woman president of INC. Next is 1924 Belgaum session. It was presided by Mahatma Gandhi. What is the importance? This is the only session of INC presided by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi has presided only once in 1924 Belgaum session. Okay, next is 1925 Kanpur session. It was presided by Sarojini Naidu. So importance is first Indian woman president of INC. Next is 1929 Lahore session under Jawaharlal Nehru. Purna Swaraj, that is complete independence, was the slogan given in this session. And Indian Independence Day was also fixed, that is 26 January 1930. We have to attain independence. This was fixed as the date in the Purna Swaraj declaration given in the 1929 Lahore session. Okay, this is a very repeated question in many general studies examinations. And next important session is 1938 Haripura session. Subhash Chandra Bose takes the lead. Okay, National Planning Committee was formed under Jawaharlal Nehru. Next is 1939 Tripura session. SC Subhash Chandra Bose will take up defeating Pattabhi Sitaramaya. Pattabhi Sitaramaya was supported by Gandhiji. Gandhiji doesn't want Subhash Chandra Bose to take up because he was a revolutionary leader. But Subhash Chandra Bose wins. But later he was forced to resign from that. Okay. But Pattabhi Sitaramaya will not come into scene in 1939. Later 40 Rajendra Prasad will come into scene. Okay. And next important was 1946 before independence. It was presided by J.B. Kriplani. Okay, at Meerut session. This was before independence. After independence, it was by Pattabhi Sitaramaya in Jaipur. After independence, every session was to be almost in December only. Okay, every session was almost in December. So there was no session in 1930, 1935 and 1941 to 45. So during these years there were no INC sessions. Remember this. Okay. So this is all for this session. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.